No other part of the UK is in a lockdown quite like Wales at the moment, where we've effectively gone back to the days of the first national stay-at-home lockdown. But it comes this time with a clear instruction to supermarkets not to sell non-essential items. And it continues to generate a huge amount of commentary, some confusion too, with the Welsh Government tweeting further clarifications this evening. But already we've seen footage of someone going into a supermarket, tearing off the covers on clothing, and the Welsh Conservatives health spokesman saying he'd never seen such a fierce backlash to a Welsh Government decision as this. But as you mentioned in your introduction, it's not just Wales under new measures this weekend. We begin this report in South Yorkshire. Rotherham, Sheffield and Doncaster, among other places in South Yorkshire, today became the latest to have Tier 3 restrictions imposed. Measures which now apply to more than 7 million people in England. We don't have the luxury of easy choices, said Sheffield City Region's Mayor, arguing this was the right move.
We're asking everybody in South Yorkshire to do their bit. These new restrictions will bring hardships and they will bring uncertainty. And I'm acutely conscious of the pressure that our business community will be under as a consequence. And that's why we need to stick together, to work together and get out of Tier 3 at the earliest available opportunity.
Meanwhile, in Wales, people awoke this morning to life in a strict new 17-day Firebreak lockdown. This was the centre of Newport on a Saturday morning, subdued by rain and absent largely of shoppers instructed once again to stay at home to save lives. Those who go to supermarkets now find aisles with clothes covered in sheeting. Other items deemed non-essential by the Welsh Government have been cordoned off. It's provoked a furious response in some quarters. It's a matter of fairness, says the First Minister to those smaller non-essential shops who've been forced to close.
We've been in Aldi's and they've got it all blocked off.
What do you think about that?
Well,
I think it's fair on the small shops.
I think it's absolute nonsense. It's rubbish, and I don't think anyone would say any different. I don't think it's helping anything or helping anybody. It's just making everybody angry, I think.
Yeah, I think it's a great decision because sometimes we need to protect the people.
I can kind of understand where they're coming from, but I also think that they've been a bit too hasty with some things, I think, because some things that they would deem non-essential I would consider essential.
Items deemed non-essential by the Welsh Government include clothes, electrical goods, toys, products for the garden and certain homeware. But what about someone needing to replace a broken heater or a carer seeking to replace a soiled duvet? All of these examples are cited by people who question whether this aspect of the lockdown is really necessary and proportionate.
These are very difficult choices for ministers to have to make. We're looking to reduce areas of additional contact, and we had non-essential items, the same areas of non-essential retail that were closed in the first lockdown, and we're looking to make sure they're closed off everywhere. That's because we know that the more opportunities for contact there are, the more likelihood there'll be a contribution to the virus spreading. The second point is we've had clear representations from different retailers who want to know that the rules will apply equally to everyone.
Welsh Conservatives have called the rule ludicrous. A petition opposing it has already received more than 18,000 signatures. And amidst the arguments come familiar lockdown scenes in Wales. This was a Dyfed Powys police check in Carmarthen earlier. As they stopped traffic to check only essential journeys were being made, another force, Gwent, announced they'd already issued 6 fixed penalty notices for breaches of this latest lockdown.
Across the UK, another 23,012 new cases were confirmed in the last 24 hours. There have been a further 174 deaths recorded. That takes the total to 44,745.